What up, guys? Slashing Through here with another review for you. This time it's about the Joker. Of course, the movie of the year, the movie that everybody's talking about, the movie that the media is blowing up as being this extreme, violent, extreme movie that will push you over the edge. Well, let me first start with debunking this crap because that's what it is. It's crap. Um, this movie is violent. This movie is in your face. Most the biggest thing about this movie is that it's not this over the top action thing. First of all, so if you look at the new Rambo movie has so much more violence than this movie. It's ridiculous that the media was portraying this as being the next big thing for white, uh, uh, basically white male, uh, over the edge pushing kind of thing. It's not. It's really not. It's just a movie. Let me say that again. It's just a movie. Um, it's really it's really dark. It's really gritty. You will not like this movie if you're not into this reality of what pushes a guy over the edge, or what pushes you, or the not being accepted into society because of mental disorder. There's so much stuff in this movie that's going on, and you see this guy going through hell, and you don't root for this guy. No, you don't. This guy has an action reaction kind of thing going on in this movie. And if you don't like this realness, or maybe better said, this illness of things, then you will not like this movie. But let's kick all that aside and look at this as a movie, because that's the only thing how we can look at it, and this is the only thing that we can say. It's well done, really well done. The character development in this movie is key, um, and it should be almost like a blueprint for the next few whatever movies that are coming out. It's so well done. You see the character grow. Joaquin Phoenix is growing in this role, and he's growing into the Joker, and this is so well done that it's crazy that a lot of these movies aren't doing this. Um, you don't go from A to B like that. It's not just that. No, you grow into A to B. And I think that's the power of this movie. You grow into this movie. You get invested into this movie of this person that is ill, this person that is not mentally stable. And it's great. It's so amazing what they do with it. And um, there's not a lot of things that you can say this is bad, or this is something you can give it some criticism. In the end, it is like a Taxi Driver 2.0. That's just it. Um, there's so many elements from Taxi Driver being used in this movie. Maybe a lot of people don't remember Taxi Driver because of it being years ago. But there's a lot of similarities here. Maybe that's the downfall a little bit about this movie. There's too many similarities with, for instance, the Taxi Driver movie. I'm not gonna go into every specific detail because, in the end, you have to experience this movie by yourself. And there's a big twist in this movie. I'm not gonna talk about it, but there's a big twist in this movie, and um, I think everybody can ask the question after that they saw the movie: is this real or not? That's up to you. There's nothing that we can say or do to change your mind. It's like you have to experience this movie, and from there on, you can, talk about it in your own way. And I think that's the power of this movie. The power of this movie is that you experience it, you will make up your own mind, you will think about this is the Joker, or maybe this is not the Joker, whatever. It's not important. It's the thought that the movie will leave you with at the end. And Joaquin Phoenix is just doing such a tremendous job in carrying this movie into something that you, well, caring for is actually the wrong word, that you actually get invested into. Um, he is doing such a tremendous job, and he is the movie. And it's like a character study, and it's so well done. It's done to perfection. A lot of people are talking about, oh, he needs to get an Oscar for this. Well, I think there's nobody else that could get an Oscar for anything this year. I saw a lot of movies this year, but this one is taking everything. His performance, his way of acting is so high level, and we already knew this. He is a great actor, um, but he's doing such a tremendous job with this one. It's really something that you need to see. Um, and I think in the end, people will be maybe feeling a bit let down because there's not that much action. The violence in the movie is not that extreme, not as that the media says it is, but it's in your face, and you have to like it or not. Some people really like the comic book violence, the stuff that happens in a movie like Rambo, for instance. But this movie, the portrayal of Gotham, the way that you have the rich and the poor, and it's this difference between those layers. What you see is making this movie. Um, Gotham is a very how to say it, a very black atmosphere kind of I don't know. The biggest thing about Gotham in this movie is that it's not this happy family kind of thing. The atmosphere is very dark, very gritty. Uh, People don't allow you to have nice things, and it really goes throughout the whole movie. It really shows the gap between rich and poor, and there are some nice little nods that people really really like. I'm not gonna go into this. I'm not gonna go into any of that really detailed stuff, because that will ruin the movie. And one of the last things I want to do is ruin this movie. But the most important thing about this movie is that it actually um, it is one movie. It feels like one movie. It's one story, and that's such a good thing. It's such a empowering thing. Um, if they would make a part two for this, it will take away all the magic that happens in this movie. And I really hope they won't do this. I really hope they won't make anything like a part two or something like that. I hope they're gonna do only this movie and keep it that way. I don't need anything else. And I think a lot of people will give it credit for that part. You don't need anything else except this movie. And it's not to sympathize with the Joker. Let me be clear. It's not, you see this guy being completely beaten down by society, by everything around him, losing the people around him that he cares about. And it's, I don't feel sympathy for him, uh, but I do feel that it makes up for a very strong character. Somebody that actually does this because of reasons. And some people will hate this, but if you're anybody about character development and stuff like that, this is your movie. This is the movie to watch. Character development is key, and Phoenix just hit it out of the park. He is doing such a tremendous job with this movie. Again, it's something different. It's not anything like we had before. This is a completely new take for comic book movies. We're not talking here about the over the top action, the CGI crap that comes with everything. No, this is a real world kind of setting. Uh, and it talks about mental disorder. You know, it's something that is really a hard topic. A lot of people don't understand it, or a lot of people don't want to see it, but it happens everywhere in the world, you know? And this character is just a victim of all kinds of things that are wrong in society. Again, it's not about all the wrongdoings towards him, but it brings up a thing, or it gives us a character that actually has something to say, actually does something like an action reaction kind of thing. And that is the biggest plus point about this movie. It's really feeling like a real thing, and it's like, no, nobody's gonna shoot around, or nobody's gonna go, you know, losing his shit. But the biggest thing with this movie is that um, it's something that happens in reality, and it's so real. It feels so real that it could happen, and maybe that's why the press is all jumping on it and saying like, "Oh yeah, this the next big shooting will happen at a Joker movie theater." Blah blah blah. Nobody cares about this. Everybody wants to see this movie because of character development, the way that this world is portrayed, and again, I feel that the biggest the biggest plus point for this movie is the realness, the actual feeling of somebody that is going through a mental disorder, uh, you know, getting power, whatever that you want to make of it, um, and it's been set in this great world, this really Gotham unbalanced world, because that's the whole thing. It's the unbalanced world of Gotham that is creating this character. Close off. This movie is not for everybody. It's a drama movie. It's not an action movie. It's nothing like a real comic kind of movie. Keep that in mind. That's really the most important thing. And don't read all the spoiler reviews. Try to go into this with an open mind. There's not a lot of action. Let's be clear, this is not an action movie, and it will never be an action movie. And for some people, this will be a disappointment. Can be. But it's a well acted movie. I first thought the director could not perform this kind of movie, but he ended up doing it. And Todd Phillips really ended up with a good movie here. And it wasn't a comedy, you know. But Joaquin Phoenix takes everything in this movie, and this character study movie is amazing. And I, in the end, think he's the only one that can get an Oscar for it. Um, Again, this is not a movie for everybody. I liked it. I'm open to this sort of movies. And I hope you are open to this as well. You should watch this movie without a doubt. If you are a movie lover, you like movies in general, then this is something you should watch. You maybe hate it, or maybe you will love it, but this is the kind of movie that you should watch. This is an actual movie. And with that, I will leave you. If you like this, please subscribe. And I would say until next time.